Okay. Uh, you are welcome to Read Book NG Book Chats. Your host, Christian, and we are glad to have you on this edition of the Book Chats. So I just want you to introduce yourself briefly, yeah, so that we get to meet you.
Okay, my name, yeah?
Yeah, just introduce yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, all right. My name is Emmanuella Agada. I'm a scriptwriter, a director, stage and screen. Yeah, basically, I love books so much. So, whatever has book in it, I'm always interested in. So I'm glad to be here having this chat about this really good book that I came across. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Manuela. It's great to have you. It's great to have you. So today we'll be chatting about the book The Courage to be Disliked. I think the title is one that is catchy, it's one that is catchy.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm.
Yeah. So it was actually written by Ichiro, they are Japanese, actually, Ichiro,
Yeah,
yeah,
Cherokee Swing.
Hogan. Yeah. I've read through the book and it's really, really it's a very nice book. Um,
Very
yeah. What would you say about the book?
well. Seeing that I am just, at the start of it, I think I'm just entering into the second, or I have entered into the second night. I'm midway to the second night. So first of all, what caught my attention was the name, title, courage to be disliked. Who wants to be disliked, And then I thought about it further, and there's a way we humans are always looking for approval. We're always seeking approval from other people. It's human nature to seek approval from other people. I thought about it and I was like, oh yeah, it's true. So why would anybody not want to seek approval? Why would anybody want to be disliked? And we need that courage to be disliked. So I thought, okay, let me look at this book. And then, I checked the book out, and then I realized it was in form of a narrative dialogue.
Yeah.
Like it was even written like a script. I'm a script writer, so you can imagine how thrilled I was seeing a book that is written like this. So I I began to read, and then I realized that wow, okay, psychology is really deep, and the book deals with psychology, especially psychology by Adler Alfred. Um, it's it's a really good book. I mean, I'm just at the start of it. I haven't even gotten to the meat of it yet, but it's already engaging. It's already captivated. I'm already captivated by the book. So,
Yeah.
It's a book that portrays human life. Because okay, in the book there is a youth and a philosopher who are having like an argument or a discussion, and you can tell that this youth is a young person at the early stages of his life, and he has all of that self-esteem issues and all of those weights that weigh people down, and he's confused about life, and he already has a mindset that in fact the whole life itself is complicated.
Yeah.
And here is a philosopher, an aged man, that is telling him that, oh, life is very simple. In fact, the whole world is simple. And he's outraged. He's like, how can you tell me that the whole world is, simple and life is simple and I'm here? I mean, my life is not simple. So, they begin to have a conversation, and I'm at a place where, the youth is he's still arguing. His arguments are still that, sir, I do not agree with you. The world is not simple. The life is complicated. But the philosopher is beginning to help him to see why, the world is not complicated. In fact, it is we humans who complicate the world. And I've really, um, been able to relate to the book a lot in that. I mean, as a person, we're always looking at our situation and trying to change our situation. But sometimes say, oh, okay, my past, I beg, this is where I find myself. This is what the world has given me.
Yeah.
So there's nothing I can do about it. But
About
then the book is telling you that, oh, the world has given you something, but it's not about what the world has given you, it's about what you do with it. That's how you change.
yeah.
So there's just a whole lot.
Yeah.
This is
That's true.
I
There's a
can't wait to finish it.
yeah, there's a lot in the book. Actually, the book is divided
Yeah,
into 5 nights, which is 5 parts. They are referred to as nights. We'll just talk about the first
yeah,
night briefly and then just see what we get out of it. And
yeah.
you
Okay.
actually summarized how it happened. It was a discussion
Mm.
between a philosopher and a youth. And then when I was reading, I was
Yeah.
kind of, I was a little bit somehow, I was like, is this guy not too, is he not too rude to the philosopher? Is the philosopher not too
Yeah.
hard on the
No.
guy, from what they
Yeah.
were saying? But
Yeah.
it was interesting. It was interesting. And the first thing that happened was
Yeah.
that
It
the
was. It was, as a matter of fact.
yeah the youth was saying that there are a lot of people who want to change, but they are finding change very, very difficult. And then the philosopher
Mhm.
said that everyone can change. I think that was where that was where the problem started. The youth was saying, no, how can you
Mhm.
tell me everyone can change? And then he gave an
Yeah. He said that's a
example,
bogus statement.
yeah, of his friend. He said his friend is not comfortable going out or associating
Wow.
outside
Yeah.
because of his past. And then
Yes.
the philosopher said something. He said it's not appropriate for people to rely or dwell upon cause and effects. That is just like you
Mhm. Mhm.
mentioned,
That's etiology.
yeah, etiology, because of what happened to me in the past, and then I'm just stuck in the past. It says no, that is not appropriate. And the youth was finding it difficult. So what's your opinion about etiology actually?
Well, you see, in fact, I myself had a problem when I got to that part of the book because I saw the youth went ahead to say, oh, but it is trauma from his friend's past that has got him to that. He has probably had some experiences, and then the after effects, the uh, uh, traumatic print of that experience is what
Yeah,
is holding his friend back. And then the philosophy goes ahead to say, oh, trauma should be denied.
yeah.
I'm like, what? What do you mean by that? How can you say, but human emotion
I felt
generally,
same
I
way.
mean,
I,
naturally,
I felt same way also. I was like, I
yes,
had to take a minute to tell myself he's not right. How can he say such a thing? I
you
felt
get it was like I was like, trauma is it's a natural reaction to something that hits you as a human. Every human has emotions, and
yeah,
so then the philosophy goes ahead to say, um, trauma being denied in this sense is not denying that you have had that experience, but it's choosing what to make of that experience.
yeah,
You get. So
yeah,
when he said, oh, it's choosing what to make of that experience, because you cannot say the trauma of your past to determine whether you're successful in the future or you're a failure in the present or in the future. So I realized that, okay, it's not that you will not feel the impact of that certain experience, but you shouldn't let it stop you from, making a decision to either continue, to either progress or to retrogress. You get.
yeah,
So, um, so when he said that, I was able to pick what the philosopher was trying to say there, or what he said there. You understand? So the youth is still in a bit of a place where he's not accepting, the fact that, oh, his friend can change, because he has decided that his friend is that way because of his trauma of the past, and your past has a stronghold on you. Whereas Adler's psychology is saying that your past should be left in the past, and that your present is what determines
matters.
your future. Your
Yeah,
present is what matters. What you do with your present is what matters. So he also went ahead to say, I can't remember what he said here. said something about your what happens in your present is actually determined by goals you set for yourself.
Yeah.
So the youth says, are you saying that my friend has set a goal to be afraid to go out?
To go out. Yeah.
And the man is saying, well, yeah, he has actually. Subconsciously, he has put himself in a place where his every mindset is that I can't go out.
Yeah.
He's not when he's in a place where okay, I can't go out, he's not thinking about well, I can't go out because of what happened in the past. That's not what is in his mind now. What is in his mind is I can't go out because something will happen
Yeah.
in the future. If I go out, if I step out, something will happen to me. So then his goal at that point is not to go out because he's afraid. That is where he now said it takes courage to change. You
Yeah.
have to have the courage to change, the courage to accept that certain things might happen after you change. Those things are not probably within your control per se, but you have to be able to step out, have that courage to accept what would happen if you change. And that's where a lot of people get it wrong. And the truth is, I actually looked at it myself because I struggle to write a lot, especially maybe when I get a job or some, you know, new, um, um, some new goal ahead of me. I
Yeah.
struggle to write, and when I read the book, when I read that part of courage, and I kept reading a lot of books, funny enough, I kept reading how to get myself to write. All my thoughts was, oh, I'm so lazy, I'm such a lazy writer. But when I thought about it, I realized that, oh, it's actually not laziness, it's fear. You know, the fear that, oh, if you write something, they might criticize you and you might not
Yeah.
be up to par.
Yeah.
It might not be perfect. And that is the fear that had been, keeping me back. So I have not had the courage to face writing and then being declined or being criticized.
Criticized. Yeah.
And that is what a lot of people face when they choose not to do certain things. They'll make several excuses. They'll say, "Oh, I wasn't born for it," or it's not my path," or all of those kind of things. Meanwhile, we're just afraid to fail.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's just the fear to fail, and that is what I think the philosopher said here when he said, "A lot of people do not have the courage to be happy."
Yeah.
Because they are used to their current situation,
Situation.
they are
Yeah.
comfortable with it. They do not want anything that will shake them, that would, that would upset the balance of their life right now.
Yeah.
Even if they are not satisfied, they'll rather be there than to take that step.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah. Actually, there was a word. There was a word that was used. He said these people, they are not satisfied with their present situation, and then they are not.
exactly.
Yeah, they are not able to do what will take them to the next step. Neither are they happy. So it's just like they are just at the middle, just trying to live for the moment and say, "Oh, okay, this is where I am. I can't change. I can't move. Let me just stay." But the bottom line is that,
Absolutely.
like it was mentioned, it's all about justifying our present goals. It's not about the past, actually. It may be difficult for people to understand. For me, when I read that part, it was difficult. I came from the aspect of, let's say, for example, just like the friend of the youth who he said was abused when he was young. And then I was like, how can you say he should just erase those moments out of him? It will be difficult. I tried to tell myself and try to
Very.
justify it and say the guy was right. But at the end of the day, what the philosopher said, that it is the meaning we give to things that matters, it got to me. And I was like, no matter what the situation truly is, if we are not trying to justify our present goals of not living up to our potential, then we must give a new meaning to what has happened to us. And I think I've heard about stories of people that did it, irrespective of what happened to them in the past. they gave a new meaning to their life, and then things went on very, very
Absolutely.
great for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's
So
really necessary.
what would be one advice you would give to people who are still stuck in the past, still justifying what has happened instead of moving on? What would be one advice you would give?
Yeah, like I said earlier, you know, it's one thing to stay in the past has already happened.
Yeah,
Staying in the past will never change that situation. As a matter of fact. In fact, staying in that past is like you are in a house and maybe there's probably a fire is burning within the house and you're stuck in there. And oh, you're afraid to go out because there's a storm. There has been a report of a storm coming. But then you would never know if the storm will come if you do not go out of the house. Rather, you remain in the house and keep burning up. And eventually, at the end of the day, you will burn to ashes.
yeah,
Because there's a way our past tends to consume us. And you are there before you know it. One day, 2 days, a week, a month, years have passed, and you have had dreams or you've had things that you feel you should do, but you're so afraid because of certain situation has its dynamics. You understand? What
yeah,
the path that you took that led you to a certain experience. If you take that path, you might meet a different experience in front. So you can't stay in that place and say, oh, because I have experienced this. You do not know what would change, especially if you take your lessons. Personally, aside what this book says, personally, if I have gone a certain path and I have experienced something, I try as much as possible not to avoid that path, but instead I tread that path in a different manner
yeah,
with what I have learned from my previous experience. I would know what not to do because if I do not move from this point, I will remain in this point. And then everything that I was afraid of, or everything that I would not even know if it would happen to me or if it would not happen to me. So there's this unknown in staying in the past. There's this unknown. There's so much that you cannot do, that you cannot achieve, that you cannot know if you stay in that place, in that past, in that experience, in that
yeah,
fear. But then stepping out and just having that courage to go ahead and do. And even if you fail, it's still okay because you can do again. Like did Thomas Edison who invented the light bulb and
yeah,
he did it
yeah,
1,001 times. Imagine failing 1,000 times and then still having that courage to still
to continue.
try again. And it was that 1,001 times that he finally had that success. So if you do not try, if you're stuck in the place where, oh, I have failed or I have had this negative experience and you never try to step out again and still go back and
Yeah,
you are just dogged and you keep going and you keep going, but you never know. You never know.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So
Yeah. So
the
that's
clear message
my
is that,
take.
yeah, the clear message is that irrespective of what experience we would have had,
Yeah.
moving on is the best option. Moving on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, there was a part where the youth was like, I wanted to become like I wanted to become Mr. Y.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Mr.
philosopher
White.
was like, so why do you think you should be Mr. Y? He gave his reason. He felt Mr. Y was more,
Said my life would be better. Mr.
yeah,
White outgoing and all of that.
yeah. And then the philosopher asked, so it means that it's yourself. That is why you want to change to become Mr. Y. And at the end
That's
of the day,
exactly.
he was made to realize the true fact of trying to change to be somebody else. And I think this is what happened, especially during the teenage age. You see, a lot of youth are trying to mimic somebody or to become somebody else
Mm,
instead of being who they should
exactly.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if
Yeah, that
what
happens a lot.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I think I also went through that phase if I would not, I mean, I think a lot of it is. And
yeah,
those things come from low self esteem or having an identity crisis
yeah,
or, certain environment. At the end of the day, you have to realize that being someone else would, if you become like someone else or you try to become like someone else, that is in personality. There's a difference between trying to follow a certain maybe a certain path,
yeah,
like a mentor. You've seen someone who is successful and then you're trying to be like that so you can also be successful. That's a good path. But then hating yourself and saying, oh, my personality, I want to change my personality, I want to change my look, I want to change who I am. If you change who you are, then who will be you?
yeah,
Because you were created to be yourself.
yeah,
I mean, you were made to be who you are, or you have been designed a certain way. So if you leave that gulf in time or that gap in time, who will now feed you? First of all, that's the first question. Everyone needs to know you are very, very special as a person. You are made for something. You have
yeah,
to accept who you are. No one is perfect. And the truth is, a lot of things that are projected outward, you do not know what people are dealing with
within.
in their private lives.
Yeah,
You only see what they give you. You only see the projection. You only see what they show you. So you do not even know if that person you're trying to be like is trying to be like someone else.
yeah. That's
Do you
true.
understand?
Yeah. So
So I mean,
that's
it's
true.
actually trying to become like someone else. So then, I mean, if we're all trying to be like, who would be us? Who would be you?
Yeah,
And then again, I think aside from looking at those people, you have to look within and realize that you as a person, check yourself. There's something called soul searching.
yeah,
Discover yourself. Discover what you're supposed to be or who you're supposed to be. I think a lot of people do not have sense of purpose or sense of direction or sense of identity. And if you do not have that, you're obviously going to keep looking for who to be like. But if you know what you're supposed to be, if you know who you're supposed to be, you would just realize that, oh, okay, I have a lot to do. I have a lot to do to get to this place where I'm supposed to be. So
yeah,
your focus would return to home, your focus would return to you. That's another thing. And then another reason why a lot of people try to change themselves is because, or maybe they are not, there's still certain personalities. They want to be like that guy who is popular, or they want to be like this person who is beautiful. But if you check again, if you look at yourself again, you realize that, oh, I have my strengths and I have my weaknesses. Just
yeah,
like the popular guy has his strengths and weaknesses, just like the beautiful girl has her strengths and weaknesses. Everybody has that. Nobody is perfect.
yeah,
Like I said earlier, everybody just projects what they want you to see. So you also have to put your best foot forward
yeah,
at all times. You also have to project that to people instead of carrying that, oh, I am not the best person. Encourage yourself, and let people see your strengths. Let people see the beautiful side of you. And then internally you begin to work on your flaws. That's why there are books. That's why books are so important,
yeah. I
because
was
if you have certain things that you're dealing with in your life, you can, as well as to speak up a book, read that book and apply what is in that book to your life. Just as I picked up Courage to be Disliked, because
yeah,
I realized that, let me just, give an example of myself. I realized that, oh, okay, certain at some point or at some times I'm too concerned about what people say. you know
yeah,
there's this seeking for validation
yeah,
and all of that, and I realized that, oh, that's not very good for me because I mean, a lot of people would always have one thing or one thing or one thing to say, no matter how perfect you are or no matter how good you are, people
Good.
would still have something to say. So you have to have that courage to be like, you know what, I think I'm doing my best, and you can just, keep your opinions to yourself and know when to pick positive criticism and when to have negative criticism.
Yeah.
So, it's about just developing and loving yourself the way you are.
Yeah. Thank you. You actually took it before I came in. I was going to talk about books actually and reading. These things are factors that are actually there for individuals. Um, and also, there is the lack of mentors around.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Can you come again? My network just had a little bit of
Okay.
issue.
Yeah. Yeah. I was saying that I was going to go to the point you just raised, talking about books and reading. Yeah, I said actually the shortage. Let me use the word shortage of the required number of mentors for youth and for others, not just youth alone. That is where books and reading should come in. That is where books and reading should come in. Like this book is picking this book up would serve as a replacement for the mentor someone would have had that is not there. You read, you try to interpret, think things through, and you reflect
Yeah.
upon these things, and you see those answers will come to the mind. Those answers will come to the mind. So, what word of encouragement do you tell people out there as regards reading? Why should people read?
I think I read an article, I think last week, that says books books have like they have souls, they have souls. And when you pick up a book and you read, there's a certain impression that
Yeah,
is left on you, especially if you take your time and you read well and you read the book well. You're not just flipping through the pages and just looking for a story. If you take your time and absorb a book and
yeah,
understand the book, there is just a whole world that will be open to you. There's always something to see, something to realize, something to know. Like I don't think I can ever exhaust reading books because when you read a book, when you pick up a new book, you just realize, wow, I thought I knew this, but look at this in a completely different light. And
yeah,
then there are certain books you just pick up at a time and you realize that a question that has been on your mind or a problem you've been trying to solve for so long, just reading this book has just helped you realize how to solve that problem. So books have so much, so much. They have wisdom, they have knowledge, they have stories, they have encouragement, they have motivation, they have inspiration. Books. I mean, I don't know who started who started the whole concept of writing before. I can tell you that it's one of the best things that
yeah,
has ever happened for anybody. Just as you said, it fills up that space of mentorship. It fills up that space of when you need someone to talk to. I mean, you can just look at a book, you can just read a good book, and then you just receive some kind of words of encouragement, and you see someone's story in the book, and you realize that, oh, other people are going through what I'm going through as well,
yeah,
or other people have been through what I'm going through right now, and they've come out of it through this step and this step and this step. So if I take this step and this step and this step, let's see how it goes. So books are, there's just a whole, what should I call it, a whole store of whatever you need,
yeah.
basically.
There's something I love about books. There's something I love about books as compared to movies or to I use the word movies. I mean these movies that try to
Yeah,
some lifestyles.
I think
Books will
I,
give
I
you
prefer books to movies too. Yeah.
Yeah, books are going to give you the story as it is. They're going to tell you how all things occur and give you an opportunity to think, to recreate these things in your mind. But
With your
sometimes when you watch some
imagination.
movies, they try to cut
Mm.
off these realities, and you are
Every,
left with
yeah.
the fantasy part of it, and you think you on
Mm.
your own, you are not doing well, you are not measuring
Mm.
up. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
they've actually eradicated those parts that should have made you understand that you're actually on the right path. So book reading is actually very essential. Okay, we'll just quickly go through again to our book, The Courage to be
Yeah.
Disliked.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the title is really great, The Courage to be Disliked. You know, once you have that courage to be disliked, then you can truly be yourself, and then you see yourself walking through and achieving your goals. Yeah, there's this part I want us to talk about. Talk about lifestyles. You say people can change. People are always selecting their own lifestyles. What you should do now is to make a decision to stop your current
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle. Yeah. So you said
Yeah.
it's all about lifestyle.
Yeah. Lifestyle. I think unconsciously, a lot of people adopt certain lifestyles. Some do it consciously. Most people do choose lifestyles unconsciously. You understand? Because what is lifestyle? Lifestyle is your style of life, style of living.
Yeah.
And of course, we live day to day. You understand? So, what you do when you wake up is part of your lifestyle. What you do every day is part of your lifestyle. What you think about is part of your lifestyle. A lot of people, when they say, oh, lifestyle, a lot of people minds just go to, or how you dress, or how, you relate with people. That's what people think lifestyle is. But lifestyle is very, very intricate. It is the very nitty gritty of what everybody is about, what a human being is about. Everybody has a lifestyle, and then it's your lifestyle that determines where you end up at the end of the day. You know, Successful people have a different lifestyle from
Yeah.
unsuccessful people. Poor people have a different lifestyle from rich people. So lifestyle is very, 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 very detailed. It goes down to what you eat, and there are so many details of so we choose our lifestyle unconsciously. A lot of people, the thing about humans, we do a lot of things unconsciously. We don't give thought
Thoughts. Yeah.
to
To what is
every
happening. Yeah.
decision that we're about to take, or everything that's happening around us. We just wake up, oh, there's a call, okay, I'm going here, oh, okay. So we don't really give thought. We don't consciously take decisions. And if you don't consciously take decisions, you're going to adopt a lifestyle that is not conscious.
Yeah.
You're going to adopt a subconscious lifestyle, a lifestyle that is just there. You're just going with the flow. You're not determining what your future is. You're not determining where you end up or how you end up. And then at the end of the day, you'll be like, oh, I'm so, poor, or I'm not getting this thing right. And then you start complaining to whoever is willing to listen to you. Meanwhile, you are able to just consciously every single day you wake up take a conscious step to live a certain lifestyle. Because even if you do not choose to live a certain lifestyle, you've already chosen to live
Yeah.
a different lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
By not choosing, you are choosing, in fact. You are
Yeah.
choosing not to choose a lifestyle. And if your lifestyle is not one that is chosen, or if your lifestyle is not something that you have consciously selected, you would have an anyhow life at the end of the day. So, so we choose our lifestyle every time.
Yeah. Thank you very much. This part is so very, very important. Our lifestyle, and you've
Mm.
actually spoken. Actually handled it the way it should be in regards people not being aware of what they are doing. They just feel, oh, okay, today let me just I wake up, I just move around, that is just it. No,
You know,
it is either you are
yeah.
choosing or you are choosing. There's no I'm not choosing. It is either
Exactly.
consciously,
Exactly.
yeah, you're consciously putting in the effort to make something meaningful out of your life, or you are just there and then the result is going to be something not meaningful. I don't know if you get it. So
Mm.
people should
Yeah.
understand that they need to put in the effort on what their life is about.
Absolutely.
You mentioned something, you said about the rich.
Yeah.
The rich are very conscious about their choices daily. They're very, very conscious
Yeah.
about it. So
Yeah.
if we really want change,
Yeah.
then we must understand that we should control our lifestyle, the direction it goes, what we eat, what
Yeah.
we do, what we say, the choices we make, everything should be under our control. I think that's what the philosopher was also trying to make him understand, that your lifestyle should be
Yeah.
you controlling
Yeah.
it, instead of just sitting and waiting for things to happen. And then we start complaining and say life is hard, life is difficult. We know these things are there, like the philosopher
That's
said.
it people do.
Yeah, but you have to play your role. You have to play your part.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been great. The book, The Courage to be Disliked, is actually great. And I want to hope that as we continue the reading, as you read forward, we would have another opportunity again to look into the other nights. This night ended with the youth saying that, okay, I understand what you are saying, but I will not agree totally with all what you have said. I'm not so convinced. These are difficult parts. These are difficult sayings you are telling me. And then the philosopher
Yeah.
said, yes, I understand. It's difficult, but
Stop. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then he
But
also
it's
told him,
something that can be achieved.
yeah, there's something I want to read out. He said, I think I've had enough for tonight, but I hope you won't mind if I come again next week. If I don't take a break, I think my head might burst. You know,
Yeah. So
this is the
bad.
reality about life. This is the reality about life. Sometimes when we sit and then we do an analysis of how we are faring, and then we look at what is our input and what are the output, I think we come to
Mm.
a position and say, oh, I need to do more, or I need to think critically more.
Yeah. 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 Because I think it all comes down to consciousness.
Yeah,
Psychology is about consciousness. If you're very conscious of your life, if you're very conscious about what you do, and you give serious thoughts things, you would realize that every single thing is actually simple. You don't need to overthink things, or you don't need to
yeah,
worry about much, because there's always a solution for every single thing.
yeah,
So when you sit down and you consciously look at things, and you consciously take time to always reminisce, or to always think about what you're doing and your everyday action,
yeah,
you would have you have a path set out for yourself. So it's a good thing to always, if like I think, it's good to have that one friend, or that one period, or that one season where you can just talk to somebody about serious issues, so that you can have a retrospect, and
yeah.
then you would know if, okay, am I on the right path, or am I on the wrong path?
On the
What do
wrong
I
track.
need to do? What do I need to stop doing? All of that. Yeah, it's really important. To
Yeah. I want to thank you very much for coming on this show, Book Chat. It's actually This is our second Book Chat series, and we are glad to have you. And I hope we would have another opportunity again to look into the other nights. It's been a very wonderful moment
Absolutely.
with you. Thank you very much, Emmanuella. I think this is where we'll call
Thank
it
you very much, Christian.
for for today. We just ended the first night, and then we look forward to what the youth and the philosopher will say during the other nights of the discussion. Thank you very, very
All
much.
right.
Yeah. Before
That
you
was
go, I would
fantastic.
just want to ask if you are to recommend this book to somebody on a scale of 1 to 5, what would be your recommendation?
It's even a 10, in fact, because I
That's
mean,
good.
I'm just at the beginning. I'm already enjoying myself, so I would
Yeah,
definitely recommend it to a lot of people.
wonderful. Yeah, thank you very much. We are very glad to have you, and we hope to have you some other time.
All right. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
do have a nice time.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
yeah,
Goodbye.
yeah.